Yo, 17 and 0 RX back with another breakdown of UFC Vegas 60, I think 60 on the dot. Sanagan versus Yadong. We're already at the end of this 3-week period of cards. It's kind of crazy. We're already here. But we still got a card to go through till we get to our second break within the last, month. So, before we get to the break, let's talk about a fight night. But before we get to the fight night, let's talk about UFC 279. Because if you're new here, I do a recap of last week's card at the end of every video. Which means, let's do a quick recap of UFC 279. You ready? Good. Let's start off with Johan versus Weeks. I think Weeks won. I'm not calling it a robbery like some people, but it was very close. Reed versus Martinez. Martinez made rookie mistakes. Not much to say. Halatung Haley against Chad Angler. Exactly what I expected. Dumont versus Wolf. Holy shit, Danielle Wolf is worse than I thought. Chris Barnett versus Jake Collier. Fight of the night. Amazing fight. Barnett's tough as fuck. Tululin versus Pickett. Pickett's shittier than I thought. Almeida versus Turlai. Almeida's gonna be a beast in the UFC. Erosa versus Dowdu. Why do I listen to people? Hakeem Dowdu's fucking trash. Walker versus Kutilaba. Holy shit, Johnny Walker won a fight. Aldana versus Chazon. Great shot by Aldana, and she kind of needed that because she's probably going to lose that third round. D-Rod versus Leach. I'm not yelling robbery like some people. I think it's a very close fight. That could have went either way. Hamzat versus Holland. Bitch move by Hamzat, but God, is he good. Diaz versus Ferguson. God, Tony, please fucking retire. You looked goddamn pathetic. So, yeah, that was UFC 279, a underwhelming pay-per-view, but a pay-per-view is a pay-per-view. Yeah, now we go into UFC Fight Night, the Sanagan. Yeah, not much to say before getting into the breakdown. Please like, comment, sub. 100 subs go by the end of the year. As always, let's talk about some fights. 14 fights, not 15. I'll talk about that later. But we start off the card with a fight I do not give a fuck about, and I'm not going to talk much about. Nicolas Iron Mota versus Cameron Jumpman Van Camp. See what I mean? I don't give a fuck about this fight. Both guys 0-1 in the UFC, coming off KO losses to Jim Miller and Andre Fialou, respectively. Neither of them looked good in those fights, and yeah, like they both got finished. The betting odds for this fight have Mota minus 240 plus 195. I'd probably move him down to a minus 130 favorite to plus 120. I think Mota will get the win here, but I don't think I would have a minus 240 facing him. Not even going to waste much time in this fight. I'm going to go with Nicolas Mota by decision. I think he's better than Van Camp, and he should get the win here. Van Camp's terrible. Nicolas Mota by decision. Now we get into the real fights on this card, kind of. As we go into a really good fight at bantamweight that probably should be higher on the card. Tony Gravely versus Javid the Snow Leopard Basharat. Very good fight. Let's talk about Tony Gravely. Tony Gravely in the UFC is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-2. No great win. Johnny Munoz, pretty much most recognizable win. His losses, Brett Johns and Nate Maness. So he's losing to people a little bit more talented, I guess. He's fought a who's who of people. Like, I'm just looking at his record right now. He's fought Pat Sabatini, Merab Dvalishvili, Patchy Mix, who's really good in Bellator, Draco Rodriguez, Chris Mutino. Got a win on Contender Series to get a contract. So he's fought a lot of people. No one really on that level in the UFC. Like, the best fighter he's fought is probably Brett Johns, and Brett Johns is not good. Gravely has okay striking, good power, and his last fight should have showed that. But he is a wrestler. Like, he wrestled Oliveira, he wrestled he tried to wrestle Manis. He does try to wrestle, but he also does try and strike. He's a mix of both. Kind of what he's feeling on that night will get the nod. His game plan, it seems. I don't think much of Gravely. I know some people are a little hyped on him. I don't know why. But, yeah, this is a put up or shut up fight for him. And now talk about Javid Basharat. Javid is 1-0 in the UFC, coming off a Contender Series win last season against Oran. Funny that his brother Farid or some shit just earned a contract last Tuesdays this week going into this fight. So now one of the Basharat boys won this weekend, the other. To talk about Javid in his debut against Trevin Jones, he looked very good. He pretty much had as close to as great of a debut as you can have, especially fighting an okay fighter in Trevin Jones. Yeah, he had a fine performance. He didn't look overly great, but he didn't look bad. He did what he had to do to get a nice debut win. Not much more to say. He has a very bright future. He is 12-0 and only, I think, late 20s. Yeah, he's 27 years old. And yeah, he's good. He's good. And this is another decent challenge for him. So yeah. Not much more to say. I think he is very good. I think he has a bright future. And if 135 wasn't fucking talented enough. The betting odds for this fight have Javid minus 180 to plus 155. I would about agree. I think Javid should be the favorite. Not a huge favorite, but a favorite. I do think this is a very good matchup for him and a very winnable one for him. Not saying it's not winnable for Gravely, I think it is, but I really don't see Gravely winning this. I find it hard to say Gravely's gonna win this, and I don't think anyone's gonna say Gravely's gonna win this. So with that being said, I am gonna go Javid Basharat by decision. I think he is gonna get the dub here, and yeah, we'll walk away 2-0 in the UFC and keeping his O. Javid Basharat by decision. Now we go into one of the fights I'm most hyped for, top 2. Mainly biased, not because it's really a good fight. It's actually a very low-level woman's fight. Maria Demon Slayer Akapova versus Julian the Savage Robertson, or the Savage Julian Robertson. Let's talk about Marina Akapova. Akapova is 2-2 in the UFC, beating Hannah Cifers and Sabina Mazo. Great performances, but then her 2 losses, Shana Dobson and Maria Morozov. 2 fucking terrible performances. I think anyone who, if you watched all 4 of her UFC fights, like I have and many others have, there's one huge fucking weakness. she has no idea how to fucking wrestle. On the feet, she's actually really good. If the UFC was just kickboxing, she'd be one of the best female fighters. But her wrestling's fucking terrible. She looked like she's never walked into a wrestling gym in her life in the Marina Morozov fight. The Shannon Dobson fight, she just gasped because she had bad fight IQ. And she still kind of does. But Morozov, she just looked like she did not ever learn how to wrestle. So, yeah. I'll say this, I don't know if anyone said this yet this week or just in general, but if Akpo actually had any wrestling, she'd actually be I would say she'd be a ranked female flyweight. Because like I said, her striking is actually so good, mainly because she is so lengthy. She has a 68-inch reach and 5'6". She's very lengthy and weirdly powerful. But again, she has no fucking wrestling. So, which is fucking the worst thing for her because she's fighting Jillian Robertson. And side note, I forgot to say this, this was not the fight that was supposed to be happening. This was supposed to be Melissa Gatto versus Jillian Robertson, but Gatto pulled out and Akpo stepped in. Why Akpo would step in a god-awful matchup for her, I don't know. But, yeah. Speaking of that god-awful matchup, let's talk about Jillian Robertson. Where do we begin? In the UFC, she is... She's been in the UFC a while. Holy shit, she's been in the UFC a long time. She is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 and 5. Terrible record. 10 and 7 overall. Her best win. Molly McCain. That one that aged very well. Her losses, Myra Bruno Silva, Macy Barber finished her, Talia Santos, Miranda Maverick, JJ Aldridge. So, you're not losing to awful people, but you're still losing. I'll break down as simple as this. If Jillian Robertson ain't wrestling, she ain't winning. Her striking is there, somewhat. She's not a fish out of water. But at the same time, she has no striking. She does not throw shots that are going to finish you. She throws shots that are going to set up a takedown. I don't think she'd even slightly hurt someone in a fight with her hands striking. So, this fight is the classic story of striker versus grappler, where the striker, Akapova, is a fish out of water on the ground, and the wrestler, Robertson, is very bad on the feet. So which one prevails? If you are honestly asking me, I'm not liking who wins, because the betting odds have Jillian Robertson minus 140 to plus 115. I would honestly kind of agree, sadly. Akapova's big fucking kryptonite is a lot easier to take advantage of than Robertson's. So, yeah, with that being said, I am biased, so I am not going to go with Robertson, even though I do think she probably will win, sadly. I am a Akapova fan, and I am going to go Akapova. Like I said, it's biased. I would not bet Akapova. I would not pick Akapova if I was trying to do good on picks. I am simply picking her because I am biased. Do I actually think she's going to win? Fuck no. So, with that being said, I am going Maria Akapova by knockout in the first. Why, I don't know. Knockout in the first. I'm biased. I want to have fun doing picks, and I'm going Akapova. Any confidence? No. Next fight on the card. Fourth fight on the card. Trey Samurai Ghost Ogden versus Daniel Golden Boy Huber. Let's talk about, well, not gonna talk much about Trey Ogden. Long story short, in his UFC debut on short notice, he looked like shit versus Jordan Levitt. Actually, Jordan Levitt kind of beat him in the striking and wrestling, which if you're getting beaten in striking by Jordan Levitt, you have issues. Like, you're just not a good fighter. Jordan Levitt's one of the worst strikers in lightweight, if not in the UFC. Yeah, L. And now talk about Daniel Huber, undefeated 12-0 record, coming off Contender Series a year ago, beating Lucas Almeida, who I actually think bounced back from that and is in the UFC now. I don't remember his fight too well, but I do remember he did look decent in it. I'm trying to remember the fight right now. Yeah, he didn't look bad. He looked fine, nothing special. He got the decision, winning the contract, not very much more to say. I think he has an interesting future, depending on how he looks in this fight. 12-0 is a very good-looking record. Let's see if it Let's see if it carries over to the UFC. So, the betting odds have Daniel the Huber minus 230 to plus. English. To plus 195. Excuse me. Yeah, I'd move the Huber up to minus 300. Fuck, my voice is killing me right now. Up to minus 300. Like I said, Ogden's getting outstruck on the feet by Jordan Levitt. So what the fuck is the Huber gonna do? So with that being said, I am gonna go Daniel the Huber by. I'm not sure yet. I'm feeling a finish. My heart is telling me finish. My brain is telling me decision. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Right now I'm leaning towards the finish, but I also could say decision. I'm not sure yet. That being said, I am just gonna say as of right now I'm going Daniel the Huber. Not sure how yet. If you want to see my Tapology, it's linked down below. Check on Saturday to see what I put in, because right now I'm not sure, but the Huber. Yeah. 4 more fights on the prelims. We start off with a good fight. Another replacement fight. I'll tell you why in a minute. As we got Luma Lukbumi versus Denise Gomez. This was not supposed to be Denise Gomez. This was meant to be Luma Lukbumi versus Belbita. What's her fucking name? What's her name? Danielle Belbita or some shit? Diana Belbita, yeah. But Belbita pulled out and Gomes stepped in. So that's that story taken care of. So I think the fight got an upgrade, to be honest with you. Yeah, let's talk about Luma Lukbumi. In the UFC, Luma is 3-2. Her wins: Alexander Albu, Jin Fry, and Sam Hughes. Her losses: Angela Hill and Lupe Godinez. She's a very good striker, a lot of kicks, very. Well, I don't know why I want to use the word fiery, but I guess that is a decent word to use. She is very explosive. She fights to fucking get the kill. She never does, but she does fight for the kill. Yeah, she's not bad. Like, honestly, if you heard what her when I said her wins and losses, you see a theme. Her 3 wins are against 3 three terrible fighters, and her 2 losses are to a decent fighter and a very good one. So, yeah, um, I don't think Luma's that great. I know some people do like to overhype her. She's just fine. I think with a smart enough game plan, you easily can beat her. Her ground game ain't the greatest. It's mainly her striking. Yeah, she's a decision machine, but she can strike. She can strike. She does like to fade later in the fight, so keep that in mind. To talk about our opponent, Denise Gomes, the girlfriend of Carrosa. Random fact. Did you care? No. Good. She is coming off Contender Series not even months ago, beating Rye and Amanda in a banger fight. She looked good. She did impress me. If I remember, I might have said she shouldn't have got a contract. I don't remember. If I did, I look stupid. If I didn't, I look smart. Yeah, she looked good. Not much more to say. Only 7 UFC fights or MMA fights is gonna be her 8th, and let's see how she does. I'm very intrigued. She does get better as the fight goes on, and she's mainly she's a brawler. She's gonna go in there and try and knock you out. And it seems like a lot of the time she succeeds. So this is gonna be a really interesting fight. I think people are overlooking this fight. This could be a barn burner. The odds for this fight, the first ones I kind of heavily disagree with. Luma, Luke Boomy minus 270 to plus 220. No. I would have Luma minus 140, 150 to plus 130, 135. I think Luma should be the favorite, but I think having her minus 2 is a little extreme. Maybe that's just me. With that being said, I am going with the dog here in Denise Gomez. I think she's going to shock people in this one. She just fought, so unless she did a Patty Pimblett, she no question still in fight shape, and she didn't take much damage in that fight, so she's already ready, and I think she has a good style to beat Luma. So with that being said, I am going to go Denise Gomes by decision. I think she could shock a lot of people here and win people a lot of money. I'm not betting her. I wish I was. Actually, no, I don't. I don't like betting. I would be too fucking scared. But yeah, I am going Denise Gomes by decision. Next fight on the card, the last woman's fight of the card, and it might be the lowest level MMA one of them all. Aspen Ladd versus Sarah McMahon. Fuck. I don't want to talk about this fight. Do I have to talk about this fight? Help. Gonna keep this one short and sweet. 2 wrestlers. It's either gonna be a shitty striking match or a shitty grappling fest. We all know Aspen Ladd gonna miss weight and ain't that good anyway. We all know Sarah McMahon, about 100 years old. Been fighting since the beginning of time and is a gold Olympic medalist. And she completely ran through Carl Rosa in her last fight. The betting odds have Aspen Ladd minus 130 to plus 110. I disagree. I would honestly have this probably near even. This fight go anyway, and let's see what way it goes. Personally, I think Sarah McMahon is gonna get the win here, the underdog win. I think she's just better. So I'm going Sarah McMahon by decision. Second underdog in a row. Don't get used to him. Next fight on the card, the second to last prelim. I'm not even gonna talk long about this fight. Trevin the Problem Giles versus Luis the Monster Kosi. Not gonna even waste much time on this. Trevin Giles is gonna get a win here. Yeah, not much more to say. Trevin Giles is gonna get a win. Trevin Giles by decision. Next. And now the featured prelim, a very good wrestling match. Damon Action Jackson versus Pat Sabatini. I'm not rushing through these, by the way. I just don't give a fuck to talk about these. This one I will talk about a little bit. This is wrestler versus wrestler again, but these two are actually like have talent as fighters. Damon been in the UFC a good minute now, 3-fight win streak, but he does have one big problem. His gas tank ain't much to write home about. If he's fresh on the ground with you, you're gonna have a bad night. But if you're in the third, like Daniel Argueta in Damon's last fight, you could finish him. You can. And talk about his opponent, Pat Nurmagomedov, Sabatini. Dude, this dude's scary good. He just fucking does not stop. He literally is just like a fucking American Habib. I know that gets thrown around a lot, but he just will keep taking you down until he cannot take till the fight's over and you've lost a 30-27. He did it to TJ Laramie, he did it to Tucker Lutz, he did it to Tristan Connolly. And he finished Jamal Emmers. The dude's really fucking good. Like, scary good. Like, do I need to say anything else? Like, what do I need to say? This is wrestler versus wrestler. This ain't, please God, don't let this turn into a striking match, because these two are shit strikers. But in a wrestling match, this actually might be pretty entertaining. Pat Sabatini is minus 220 to plus 175. Yeah, like, he's very good. I think he will be a ranked fighter soon, and I'm very excited for this fight to see how Sabatini looks. With that being said, I am going Pat Sabatini by decision. I think he's gonna tire out Damon and get the W. The kid's really good. Those are prelims. A little bit of a couple gems, but mainly nothing you care about. But we move on to a very decent main card. Okay. We start off the main card with a okay fight. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez versus Marc-Andre Polar Bear Barriute. Let's talk about Anthony Hernandez. I think we all know Anthony Hernandez for his Rodolfo Vieira fight, but he has had a fight since then. I forgot also. In the UFC, he is 3-2. His wins: Jung Young Park, Rodolfo Vieira, and Josh Fremd. His losses: Marcus Perez and Kevin Holland. Fluffy is trying to get you to the mat. He can strike, but he's not really the best striker. He wants to wrestle you. Like, not a better way I could put it besides he's gonna try and wrestle you. And a lot of the times, it's gonna work. A lot of the time, it will work. So, all he did for the Frem fight is wrestle him for 15 minutes, so yeah, Fluffy just wants to wrestle you. Not much more to say. To talk about his opponent, the Power Bar Marc-Andre Barriute. I'm not gonna talk much about him. I feel like I've talked about him in so many breakdowns by now. I don't think he's very good. He's had ups and downs in his career, and I think his wins are against shit fighters, so he's not very good. The betting odds for this fight have Fluffy Hernandez -170 to +145. Thinking about it, yeah, I agree. I think he's just gonna do what he has to do to get the win here and get the win here. So, I'm gonna go Fluffy Hernandez by decision. After that, we got some big boys and a return, a dude we've not seen in a long ass fucking time. We have Tanner the Bulldozer Bozer versus Rodrigo the Colomia Nascimento. Let's talk about Tanner Bozer. Been a while since we saw Big Tanner. And middle of last year. But he's back finally. In the UFC, he is 4-3. Well, really 5-2. His wins: Daniel Spiltz, Felipe Lins, OSP Alil Latifi. His losses: Cyril Gahn, no shocker, and Andrei Arlovsky. A dude a heavyweight who really should be fighting at 205. He just did not feel like cutting all that weight. And if it's working like it is for him, why? He KO'd OSP in his last fight, beat Alil Latifi, beat Felipe Lins, got to fight Cyril Gahn and Andrei Arlovsky. The dude has had ups and downs in his career. Now he's finally back after a year and a half away, looking for another highlight reel. You think of him like a Canadian Roy Nelson. He's just gonna go in there and try and knock your head off. Most of the time, he succeeds. All I'm gonna say. To talk about his opponent, Rodrigo Nascimento. Also been a while since we've seen him. We've not seen him since the end of last year when he got a win over Alan Badeau. Before that, he lost to Chris Dawkins and beat Dontel Mays, so 1-1-1. Mays, not shocker, he ain't the best one in the world. Chris Dawkins, that loss doesn't look that good after what Dawkins has done after he started fighting real talent. And Badeau, he actually was looking bad against Alan Badeau until he got the finish, so self-explanatory there. Come on, you're looking bad against Alan Badeau. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. Tanner Bozer by knockout in the first. Dude, let's have some fun, Tanner. Knock this boy out. The betting odds have Tanner -190. I agree. Let's go. Third fight on the main card. Not gonna talk much about this. It's pretty easy to pick this one. Alan Armadowski versus Joe Bodybags Pfeiffer. Joe Pfeiffer by knockout in the first. Lock of the night. Pfeiffer is -420 to +325. I would have Joe Pfeiffer -500. Should be a very, very easy win for him. I really don't see him having any problems with shitty fucking Alan Armadowski. So, Joe Pfeiffer, lock of the night, knockout in the first. Now we move on to the big three on this card. As we start off with Andre Touchy Feely versus Bill Senor Perfecto Algio. I'm not gonna go really for these last three fights. I'm not gonna go really deep into these fighters' background. You know them by now, or if you don't, you should. Feely. I think we all know Andre Feely by now. Shit ton of tattoos and just likes to fight. but the bad thing for him, he is extremely inconsistent. Like, and when he does look good, he does some stupid, like, poking someone in the eye. So if he could get a solid fucking what term do I want to use? Solid, just consistency going, he actually could be a borderline top 15 ranked featherweight. Just, he's not. Why? Who knows? Something mentally, physically. He's just inconsistent as fuck. I don't get it. No one does. And if he loses this, he could be cut. Cause that'd be, well, maybe not. But you know, you get my point. And I'll talk about his opponent, Bill Algeo, who I swear we've seen so much of the last 2 years. I don't know why. It just seems like, yeah. Minor interruption. Don't mind that. One take, all we need, baby. Yeah, I feel like we've seen Bill Algeo a shit ton of times the last year. And we just saw him a month and a half ago beat the shit out of shitty Herbert Burns. So what does that tell you? He's a brawler, but he also can fight smart when he needs to. And yeah, this is gonna be a brawl. This is gonna be two dudes who like to fight, and I'm excited. The betting odds have Andre Fili minus 130 to plus 110. I would disagree a little bit because I don't trust Andre Fili. I would have it 115 apiece. This might go either way. It all depends on what Andre Fili goes in there. If the one we saw against Pineda goes in there, then we're in for a good fight. If the one that we saw against Burrito, Mitchell, Yusuf, etc. goes in there, Algeo's gonna get a win. So, long story short, let's see what we get out of Touchy Fili. Now, I am going Andre Fili by decision. Do I trust him? No. But I do think he could win this fight. So, yeah. Now on to your co-main event of the evening. Because the original co-main between Sadiq Yusuf and Giga Chikadze got cancelled, and Yusuf got moved to the card the Mackenzie Dern card in 2 weeks. So this fight, which is amazing either anyway, is your new co-main, and I don't think anyone's gonna complain because this fight's amazing. We got Chidi Bang Bang and Jokuwani versus Gregory Obama Rodriguez. Not gonna talk much about this fight. This is gonna be the fight of the night. Someone's gonna go out. Two brawlers gonna brawl till one drops. I'm fucking hyped for this fight. The fight I'm top 2 most hyped for on this card. And it's gonna be a war. Chitty loves to swang and bang. Robocop loves to swang and bang. Let's have a war, boys. Who am I picking in this one? Who do I think can get the finish? I'm going Chidi and Jokuwani by knockout in the first. This fight's gonna end by a finish and it's gonna be fun. Chidi Bang Bang by knockout in the first. And now to talk about the main event of the evening. A banger in the 135 division. We have Corey the Sandman Sanhagen versus Kung Fu Kid Song Yadong. Great fight. I'm shocked the UFC booked this fight, throwing Song to the wolves like this, but sink or swim, kid. Let's talk about Corey first. I think we all know Corey Sanhagen, one of the best bantamweights in the world. We've not seen him in almost a year after that insane Pilter Yan fight. But before that, he was on a murder spree. Marlon Moraes, Frankie Edgar, beat TJ Dillashaw. The dude's a killer, man. The dude does not give a fuck. And that's why everyone loves the Sandman. He goes in there to either get knocked out or knock you out. And most of the time, if someone's going out in a Corey Sandhagen fight, it's not Corey Sandhagen. So keep that in mind. Think of him like Dominic Cruz if he had any killer instinct to get a finish, and that's Corey Sandhagen. He's very, 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 very good. Very, very good. Now talk about the probably lesser known Song Yudong. Kid's very talented. He's had a couple downs in his career, losing to Marlon Vera and Kyler Phillips. But since then, he rattled off 3 nice wins. Casey Kenny, Julio Arce, and Marlon Moraes. The kid's very, very, very good. Only 24 years old, and crazy power, very good technique. All the words to describe a very good young kid like Song. So this fight is gonna come down to neither are gonna gas. Let's be honest. It's gonna come down to can Song handle the pressure of a 5-round fight, and how did he do in his first huge step up in competition. With that being said, the betting odds have Corey Sandhagen at -210 to +175. I moved Corey down to -190. I think borderline 200 is fine. The Song is definitely alive in this fight. I'm not writing him off, but I do think Corey's gonna get the win here. I think the experience of 5-rounders in his last 2 fights, he's went fucking 15 rounds or 10 rounds. My bad. Song has went in his combined last 3 fights, I think maybe 7, 8. So, and he's never been in this huge of a fight. So a lot of factors in this. Overall, I think this is gonna be a very competitive fight, but I think it's gonna be a clear winner. So, that being said, I'm gonna go Corey Sandhagen by decision. I think he will get the win here. I think he'll keep doing his thing, man. Corey's a killer. Only 30 years old. Corey Sandhagen by decision. Song is, but a lot of people I've heard writing Song off, man. Don't write Song Yudong off. He is he definitely has a chance at winning that fight. So, yeah, those are my picks. Go over them one more time. Nicholas Moda by decision. Javid Basharat by decision. Biased Marina Akapova by knockout in the first. Daniel Zohuber, I'm feeling a finish. Denise Gomez by decision. Sarah McMahon by decision. Trevin Giles by decision. Pat Sabatini by decision. Anthony Hernandez by decision. Tanner Bowser by knockout in the first. Joe Pyfer by knockout in the first, lock of the night. Andre Feely by decision. Chidi and Njokuani by knockout in the first. And Corey Sandhagen by decision. Those are my picks. A decent card overall. Mainly carried by a couple fights, but a couple duds mainly on the prelims. But you know, after the crazy shit that happened last week, a little bit calmer of a card ain't all bad. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. You'll hear from me again in 2 weeks for a breakdown of Dern versus Xiaonan and that card, which actually ain't bad. There ain't a card next week, so you don't have to hear my annoying ass, to quote Henry Cejudo, next week. And I won't be doing a recap of this card in my next video because it would, by that time I'm recording that video, you should know what happened on this card. So, anything else to say? Not that I can think of. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me your picks down below. Yeah. We're getting closer to the end of the year. Nowhere near 100. 50 would be cool. Nah, I'm gonna stop dragging this shit out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, sub, all that shit. And as always, RX out. Shitty man.